Well, hello, I'm Jeanine and welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm going to do something that excites me. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me do the copycat KFC brown gravy, right? And I did that with you live because it was cooking dinner and whatever have you. Today, I'm going to give you the jar version to keep on hand for yourself always, because that's what I'm going to do. Because as I said in the video, we all know rotisserie chicken does not come with gravy. And you don't have any drippings, you don't have anything to make it, but this is foolproof. This is good stuff. I even have it written down on my recipe card for my recipe box, which is over in the corner. All right, so here it is. I'm going to read from it because I'm putting it in the box when I'm done. I'm going to keep the jar. I'm going to keep the recipe forever. Okay, it's simple. It's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients that you probably always have on hand in your kitchen. All right, let's start. Okay, it's a half a cup of flour. I'm going to put it into a little bowl to mix, and then we'll pour it into my jar because of the wide mouth. That's why I need this. Okay, let's get the flour. And I use whatever good flour you like. I happen to have this brand. I like it. It's not expensive. The King Arthur all-purpose. We got a half a cup of that. Okay. My little handy Dollar Tree measurer. All right. Next up, 3 tablespoons of beef bouillon granules. I have this beef broth base in my house. It's not gluten-free, whatever. I'm pretty much sure you can use any beef bouillon granules you have. Find the brand you like, find what you use, and that's what it is, okay? And it's simply 3 tablespoons of this. So let's get I finally get to use these measuring spoons I bought. I love them. 1 tablespoon. Okay, so we need 3. And this, I like this because it's rich, and I know it's going to make my gravy rich. You know, it's not that beige. 1, 2, 3. There's our beef granules. There's the lid. Next, it smells very rich too. I like this if you want to see. The name is Orrington Farms, broth-based beef flavored. Okay, with natural flavors. I like it. But like I said, you could use any beef bouillon you want. Okay, half a teaspoon. Now it gets real simple. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. Where's our half teaspoon? There we go. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I mean, this is crazy how simple it is. And my garlic, of course, my garlic from Costco is up in the top where I need my little stool. Excuse me a second. I'm not using the mic that much anymore because it happened to me yet again. I wasted an entire baking video. Thank God I have the food, but I was furious. No sound. I don't know what it did halfway of the video. I don't know. Half a teaspoon of garlic granules, granulated garlic. Okay, there you go. Oh, I'm putting the wrong lid on. All right, and last but not least, a 1/4 teaspoon of the black pepper. And then I'll share with you some ways to make it yours. Okay, a half a teaspoon, 1/4. Okay, 1/4 of our black pepper. 1/4 of black pepper. That's it. That's your gravy in a jar. Okay, now let me get the rest of the part of it. Okay. I believe it's a cup of water that you put it to. Just gotta answer something on here. Okay, so this is it. You just mix this up. You keep it in a jar. I'm gonna get a better whisk. I want a small one. Of course I don't have a small one. Why would I? I'm on camera trying to do this. Thank God I repeat myself over and over how all natural my channel is. Everything's natural, spur of the moment, as we roll, as we go. Here's the whisk. I'm going to blend it and mix it all good. And I'll write it in the recipe for you, because next up, I found something. Then you're going to get a bonus recipe with this gravy. And then I'll tell you, I believe, I didn't write it on my own recipe card. I believe it's, I'll tell you how many tablespoons to water ratio you need to turn this into a gravy. I'll write it in the directions. But I wanted to do this quick because I'm more excited about the second recipe I'm going to show you, because I finally found something to use my non-fat dry milk that I bought for another friend's recipe I want to make. That I'll do in a separate video, because I bought my dry milk for that. I have that delivered yesterday. Now this, I should have, now I know I got to go to the Dollar Tree. You know why? I need a funnel. All right, there's your mix, okay? It looks white, but you saw how brown my granules of beef bouillon are. Okay, now, it would be the same recipe if you wanted to make chicken. I'm not going to do the chicken now, because it would be exactly the same. And instead of the beef bouillon granules, you would substitute that for chicken. I'll also write that variation in the description, along with this recipe and everything on the card and the water ratio. Now, more importantly, what I want to talk about is giving you ideas to make it your own, okay? I have my little secret weapon here. This is mushroom bouillon powder. Okay, I would add a half a teaspoon of this if I wanted to make it mushroom brown gravy, which I haven't even experimented with yet. This you can't find just anywhere. This is kind of an Amazon item. Mushroom bouillon powder, I could add that. I could add more spices to this. I could add paprika. I could add parsley. I could add any of my dry onion if I wanted to make it onion brown gravy, right? Let me see if I have them to show you in my cupboard. Let me see. Yes, here I do. I could add these are onion chopped. I can put that in with the dry mix because it's dry. Add more spices, make it your own. But that is the base to brown gravy. You just add it to water. It'll thicken up, and you're gonna have something tasty on hand whenever you like. And you can put it in this fancy jar, little jar, whatever jar. I thought that this was big enough. Now what I see, my Bounty, these may be too big. I mean, small. I think I need a bowl jar. And I think I'm gonna need the wide lid, the wide mouth. These are my pickling and other such things. And it's okay. I'm gonna use this to pour in because it has the spout. And I'll go over the bowl like that. See? That's pretty clever. Not too shabby. Okay. And keep it in a dry, cool place, like in your cupboard. Nice, airtight. These are fancy, but they have the rubber suction. They're airtight. I did a video sharing these. I get the pure jars they sell in the supermarket, and these wooden lids they sell on Amazon. Okay, and there you have it, brown gravy. I'm gonna pause and get everything out to make a soup mix for you using my non-fat dry milk, which I thought I would never find a recipe for, but I have. So let me pause and we'll come back and do that recipe. That's gonna be fun. Okay guys, we're back. And to say I'm excited is an understatement. I am so excited. I bought this to make a recipe for something entirely different that didn't need non-fat, because I wasn't wearing my glasses or I couldn't see. I had in fact I wanted organic, best I could get, and I bought non-fat. And I'm like, oh man, and I've been waiting 2 weeks to do that other recipe. But in the meantime, I came across this. And when I seen it called for non-fat dry milk, I said, here we go. It's brand new. You can see I'm opening it first time, excited to use it. Again, I wrote everything down on my card. These are for soup mixes, do-it-yourself cream of soups. Okay, I'll do the first one and then I'll tell you. This is the basic recipe. This is the one to all the flavors. Basic soup mix. It is 2 cups of non-fat dry milk powder. Okay, 2 cups. I have a half. Let me just do this. I'll use this twice. 2 cups. I hope I have 2 cups in here. All right, 8, 8, and 16. I might not have enough. I don't know. 2 cups. Let me see if I got my big cup measurer. And it's dry. I was baking, like I said, I lost the whole video. So I figured, but you know, waste not, want not. I had the baking stuff out, started doing my research, and I said, let's go for it. Let's find stuff to use this for. Alrighty, 2 cups. It's a lot of dry milk. Alright. Well, I'm not going to use it anyways. I may gift it. We'll see. I'll use a batch for myself. And then, okay, that's 1. Oh, it is a lot. Why does it say 12 ounces? That's weird. Isn't 8 ounces a cup? You would think 16 ounces is 2 cups? No. I'm good. There's more than 2 cups in this package, which is nice. And this wasn't terribly expensive, guys. This really isn't. I ordered it online, as I do a lot of the product, and I'm going to tell you, because I'm not a farmer, I don't have a garden, I can't dry my things out, my veggies. If you have a hydrator, I had one and gave it back. I bought one. I didn't have the storage to do it, and it took too long. And my oven did certain things just as well. Simple stuff like lemon, orange, mushroom, garlic, onions. Those are all easily dried in my oven if I really choose to do that. But I don't. I'm very happy to buy already dried. Okay, so that's the start. 2 cups of non-fat dry milk powder, 3/4 of a cup of cornstarch. This I always have on hand because I always thicken all my other gravies that I make with this. I need 3. This is a 1/4 cup measure. That's why I'm doing 3. If anybody's saying, why is she putting 3? Let's go 1. I'm going to need a big jar for this one. 2. And this is the thickener. We get that. Okay. 3 on the cornstarch. And I got quite a lot left because, and I'm a mess because I'm not a baker. Okay. When my baking stuff comes out, there's flour everywhere flying. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Okay. I get that. That's the bulk of it mostly. Now it's a 1/4 cup, which we have a 1/4 cup measurer of bouillon. Now here's where it gets personal, and I'm only going to make 1. You can make all 3 if you choose. Now is the point where you pick your bouillon, chicken, beef, or vegetable. Okay, I did my beef. You know what? I think I'm going to do chicken. So I make a cream of chicken because this is a good idea. I'm going to share. It's wise to use my chicken bouillon. I have an abundance of it. I bought a premium one on Amazon, which I love because it's more flavorful than most of the ones I've tried. Now the bouillon, it's a 1/4 cup. Let me just rinse this out. The excess powder on there. Okay, and then we'll put my chicken bouillon. We'll do it over the bowl in case we spill some. This is just a wonderful chicken flavor. I'm going to put a little bit more. There you go. Okay, now we got our bouillon, our cornstarch to thicken, and our dry milk. You get the creamy base of it? I get it now. This is easy. And you can modify it to whatever you like. Now it's 2 teaspoons of onion powder. Okay, where's our teaspoon measure? Okay, 2 teaspoons of onion powder. 1, 2. And it's so nice to control it all and all the ingredients. If you want no salt, you want to get organic, you want the best you can get. I love doing it myself. A teaspoon of dry parsley. I happen to have some good stuff in my pantry. Spice Islands. This is a good one. Because as soon as you open it, you can tell the difference in spices. Strong parsley smell. Very nice. 1 teaspoon. Okay, 1 teaspoon of dry parsley. I mean, if you go over a little bit, you're not hurting nobody. Okay, not hurting nobody. And a 1/2 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of our black pepper. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And that's all she wrote. Now, there's no salt in any, either this or the homemade gravy. You would modify that. As far as the brown gravy to this mix, because of the ratios of everything, I wouldn't put more than 1/2 teaspoon, or leave it out and let the people, yourself, your family, whoever you're cooking. Let's say you made that brown gravy for a meatloaf. Let them put the salt on their own gravied up piece of meat. So that's what we do, because I don't use a lot of salt at all. Everybody knows I'm always preaching. I watch my salt. I watch my salt. I watch my salt before a doctor tells me I have to have low sodium. Right? Okay. That's it. Everything's in here. Now, I'm going to mix it up. And let me see if my bigger bowl here. Let me dry this one too. I'm using up all my napkins. Oh. I want to mix it in here because I can't get a good mix in that little bowl. It's just not going to work out. I want to make sure it's really dry so nothing cakes up on me, you know? Okay. There goes your dry milk. I'm definitely going to have to get a funnel. I'm definitely going to have to invest. I thought I had one for mixing and stuff like that. I have a big fat whisk, but I don't have it. All right, so let's mix this all up. That is your basic soup mix. Now to use it, it calls for 1/3 cup of the soup mix and 1 1/4 cups of water. And that's your soup mix. Now, you can also turn this into any flavors you want. This is the basic, like I had said to you guys, this is the basic soup mix for any cream of anything. Now, I'm going to go flip the card, and on the back is what to do to turn it into soup of this, soup of that. Okay, so now let's say you want the basic and you want to turn it into cream of chicken. You would add a teaspoon of dry thyme and a 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Let me show you. I have that. It's not, I used to say, what is that? I thought it was such a big thing. It's not, mine's not even opened, okay? But I may put it in here with the thyme. I have dried thyme. I have the ingredients on hand to turn this into cream of chicken, okay? That's what you do for that. Now, let's say you want to turn it into cream of mushroom. You're going to add a 1/2 cup of dry mushroom pieces and a 1/2 teaspoon of onion flakes. Like I said, I'm not a farmer or a gardener and I don't have it. The onion flakes are easy to get. I showed you. I have those. Dry mushroom pieces, easily ordered on Amazon for me. Probably could get it in certain food stores as well. Dry mushroom pieces, a 1/2 cup. And you could go get that mix of dry shiitake, cremini oil, and they sell them in little bags. I've seen them in Whole Foods and such. You could do that. I personally am going to order them. And then I would add in some of this to make it even more mushroomy flavor. Okay? So that's that. Now if you want to make it celery, or cream of celery, you would add a 1/4 cup of dry celery flakes. Again, something I'm going to order on Amazon to have on hand. And you could get small batch. You don't have to buy in bulk. It's not like that. 1/2 teaspoon of celery salt. That I keep in the cupboard for Bloody Marys. I have that on hand. So I see only 2 items missing from this list for me to turn this basic soup into cream of any 3. Now here's the beauty of it. I wouldn't be eating them as creams. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and add the water, boil this, and have cream of chicken, even if I put the poultry in and the other ingredient. I wouldn't, because I don't eat cream of soup. But I love casseroles. And you know I did my tuna casserole. So for me, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to follow anytime I want to make a casserole that involves chicken. I'm going to use the recipe to turn the basic soup into the cream of chicken. Add that to my casserole of chicken and noodles and so on and so on. You know, if I was doing tuna, it would probably require the celery, cream of celery. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm happy because I got to use up my non-fat, which is good, non-fat dry milk. I mean, come on. I have the full fat, and here's that. I'll show you that. I got this. This was a little pricey because, again, I want organic instant dry milk. And I bought this because I'm going to make my friend Lippy's recipe with it. But I also want to keep it on hand to do baking items. I want to hopefully this be the type of powder that I just add water and it's instant organic milk from my cereal in case I run out. Some mornings I wake up and you don't know how Vinny gets upset. I'm not a cereal eater, but he is. I like a touch of it in my oatmeal. So let's say I woke up and I wanted oatmeal. He wanted cereal. We got no milk in the house. If this is simply, I didn't read it all. If this is just add water and it's milk, awesome. Some of them have to be dry and go into recipes. That's a different thing. But, okay, here it says, to prepare, add a quarter cup of powder to 1 glass of 8 ounces hot or cold water. There you go. There you go. So I have dry milk on hand. It was in the $20-something range for this one. And this is 30 ounces. That's a lot, okay? 8 grams of protein per serving, 50% more calcium, it's organic. I chose the best I could afford. Okay, you do you. You get what's good for your household and enjoy. As always, it's a pleasure. I'm happy that you watched if you stayed till the end. And I'll write these in there because they're going to go in my recipe box here. This is the one I didn't tell you, the mix I was incorrect about, the water ratio for the brown gravy, the homemade brown gravy. To use it, you mix 3 tablespoons of the mix with 1.5 cups of water, hot water, and you heat and whisk until it thickens to your liking. Okay, and again, don't forget, you can make this your own. You can add things to it. If you wanted to add the parsley, you want to add some thyme, whatever seasonings you like. But that's the basic for the gravy and the soup mix. Have a wonderful day and keep cooking. I'll see you in the next one.